Good evening. I want to go through quickly the halachos of Erev Pesach Shechal B'Shabbos. It is a thing which comes every few years, and there's a special siman in Shulchan Aruch, Siman Tov Mem Dalet, which is special for this halachos, and we have to go through. At least we should know what's going on, how we deal with it. Next week is going to be a Shabbos which you're going to all daven the earliest time of the year, because you have to finish, by 10:51 you have to finish eating chomot, so you have to finish davening quite early. So start sleeping now before you get to. Okay, so let's start the first thing. Since we know Erev Pesach, there's such a thing as Tanas B'chorim. Anyone who is a B'chor, or he has a B'chor, a child which is not yet bar mitzvah, so he has to fast for his child. So he has to fast Erev Pesach. That's the B'chorim is anem be'Erev Pesach. B'chorim, why? Because this is, so to speak, to say for the Rebbeinu Shloilem that they saved the B'chorim of Yisrael, so therefore they are fasting. But we are very lenient in this Tanas. Very lenient in this Tanas, and therefore when we make a Sidus Mitzvah, any Sidus Mitzvah, that means you make a bris, a pidyon aben, shever brochas, whatever Sidus Mitzvah you're going to make, you don't have to fast. That's the opinion of the majority of poskim. The Riksaboisam, he doesn't want to say that you should be able to eat by other things, but akaponam, that's the conception by most of poskim, that any Sidus Mitzvah, and even a Sidus Mitzvah of Siyam Masechta, you could that's considered the Siyam, and you don't have to fast. What is considered the Siyam? I once wrote no Risrula Holariches that Siyam Masechta, even a small Masechta, a Siyam Seider Mishnais is also considered the Masechta. A Siyam of Sam Aseider Eramam, a one of the 14 Svorim of the Rambam is considered, and even Siyam a Sefer. If a person has a Seder to learn, let's say at Lekita Torah, and he finishes Lekita Torah, that's also considered a Siyam Masechta in order to be able to eat Sidus Mitzvah. Now, since we cannot fast Erev Pesach this year, because Erev Pesach is Shabbos, so we pushed it all the way up till Thursday. So you have to fast on Thursday, because now if you make a Siyam, then it's fine. If you don't make a Siyam, you have to you fast on Thursday. Some poskim say you should fast Thursday or Friday. Lamasa, the Rebbe Lekita Sichas writes that Masakin should be only Thursday, and therefore, if a person did not fast on Thursday, he doesn't have to fast on Friday. Akaponam, so the B'chorim should know that you have to make sure to listen to a Siyam. If you don't want to fast, if you want to fast, that's Avad Git. If you don't want to fast, then you should listen to a Siyam, and you should listen to a Siyam, and you should make sure to eat by the Siyam. The most important thing is not listening to the Masechta. The most important thing is to eat something by the Siyam. And once you ate something by the Siyam, a Kazayas, then you don't even have to fast the rest of the day. But what? No, they don't say Aneinu, they say Aneinu. And they cannot drink a coffee before davening because they didn't have a Siyam. Only after they heard the Siyam and they ate something by the Sidus Mitzvah, then you could basically eat and you don't have to fast. Yeah. If a person, what? The dafkid eat or drink, one of the things. Yeah. But the drink is not made of ravis. What? By COVID, we wrote that should be fine also. That's
now lives in a place where there's no Siyam.
If he listens live on the Siyam that is highly mishtatev in the Siyam, then you could be lenient. Again, as we mentioned before, but this Siyam, this Tanas, we are very lenient. It's interesting that Rabbi Hershel is the Shoiver. I don't remember if Rabbi Hershel or Rabbi Isaac, one of the two is the Shoiver Rebbes. He writes, which was in the time of the Alter Rebbe, Mittler Rebbe, he writes that it's a toss in Yerushalmi. In Yerushalmi it says that B'chorim is anin. The B'chorim fast in Erev Pesach, and he says, what kind of thing is to fast? They have to be happy. So he says, it has to say, B'chorim is angim, not misanin. The gimel was, but again, the poskim did not, Mechaber, the Shichanor, the Alter Rebbe, did not go with this, and you have to fast, and only if you have a siyam, you don't have to fast. Now, no coffee before you hear the siyam. What? No coffee before davening. No.
If you don't hear a siyam, then misan.
Yeah. Al Kaponam, if a person is fasting and he wants to have koich to make b'dikis chumas, because that night is b'dikis chumas. It's not like every year that the b'dikis chumas is the night before. Now, after night, Thursday night is going to be b'dikis chumas, and if it's hard for him to make b'dikis chumas, then he could eat a drop. Toim zan lifnei b'dikis chumas, as we're going to see in a soon that we can't esef ha b'dikis chumas, but epis toim zan kana, or he could say somebody else should make b'dikis chumas, and then he could eat and then finish whatever that guy didn't do. That means you could say your children should make 3 rooms, and the rest you make after you ate. Again, as I said, the Rebbe writes that if a person did not fast on Thursday, that he doesn't have to fast. Some persons say you have to fast on Friday because basically it's a migdam, so it's or Thursday or Friday. The Rebbe writes that you don't have to, because what the Chazal have weggestellt, but it's weggestellt on Thursday, and if it's not Thursday, then you don't have to fast. Now, b'dikis chumatz, after the Thursday night, you have to make b'dikis chumatz or liyid gimel. Usually it's or liyid dalet. Now or liyid gimel, you make b'dikis chumatz and you make a bracha. Although every year when you make b'dikis chumatz before liyid dalet, as I keep on encouraging people to do, if they have a big house, they should start a day or 2 or 3 days before. But the that days you cannot make a bracha. You only make a bracha laila b'dikis chumas. But in such a case like this year, when you make it chazalam avegishal, you make b'dikis chumas laila yid gimel, you make a bracha. Now again, if you start a day or 2 before, then you don't make a bracha on the days before, but laila yid gimel you make a bracha. And all the halachas which we have about b'dikis chumas, every year we have also on this year b'dikis chumas. Although it's the day before, that means you cannot eat a half an hour before Zman b'dikis chumas till you b'dikis chumas, because the Chazal was afraid that you're gonna eat a sida and you're gonna forget to make b'dikis chumas. B'dikis chumas has to be right away when the Zman after Ma'ariv. Therefore, the Alter Rebbe, although the halacha is if you started the Suda before a half an hour of Ma'ariv, you could continue because you started beheter. When it comes to b'dikis chumas, even if you started the beheter, once it comes Zman b'dikis chumas, you have to stop, because although you're going to make b'dikis chumas later, Chazal b'dikis chumas has to be the beginning of the night. So therefore, you have to stop. That means you cannot learn. Even if you cannot learn, and you cannot eat. You cannot akapurim eat means yoytem moysim mikabaitza. Again, te'ima less mikabaitza is not a problem, as I mentioned before. But yoytem mikabaitza, drink wine, beer, anything which you mishaker, all these things, all the halachas which we have laili dalet, we have laili gimel too. After you finish making the chumatz, you have to make sure that you take all the chumatz which you have and you put it away at a good place, because tomorrow you're going to still eat chumatz. And you're going to eat not only tomorrow, you're going to eat after Shabbos also. So you have a Friday, you have a Shabbos, you have chumatz at home. You have to make sure it is in a place that the children shouldn't have access, as every year you have to make sure that the chumatz which you shouldn't have access. And you have to make sure to designate a place where you're going to eat chumatz, because again, we don't want that you should have crumbs and all these things, and we can have an issue when it comes to Shabbos. After you finish, you made b'dikis chumatz, you should make all chumatz should be finished. Only the chumatz which you need for the food. That means only what you need for tomorrow morning, and mashirem muzim by sidas. Now, mi'ikar adin, you could eat chumatz all Friday. Mi'ikar adin, mitzad halacha, because it's not erev Pesach. It's not zman of achil akruvas korban Pesach. So therefore, mi'ikarim what we make, eat chumatz all the way, regular all Friday. But if you look in the Lushna Gemura, the Gemura says Mashayir Muzen by Sidas. The Alter Rebbe quotes it in the Shichanor Oichet. Mashayir Muzen by Sidas. So is mashma from the Alter Rebbe, is mashma in the Gemura, that's the Indian, and man essen mehr wie viel man darf. That means only Moses Taisides. That means breakfast Friday and Moses Taisides. Not more than Moses Taisides. That means when you learn the Rosa Sacha Chroinem, that's the Indian, as after the Zman Achilas Chumatz, you should not have any Chumatz, only Moses Taisides. Only Moses Taisides. This year, although whole Friday you could eat Chumatz, me'ikrat din, aber after became man seit von der Lusche nach Shechanurach, man seit der Lusche von der Gemura, Meshayr Musen bei Sidus. It's interesting, by the way, the Gemara says Meshayr Musen bei Sidus. You leave over Musen bei Sidus. The Alter Rebbe writes, Meshayren, ein Meshayren, elu Musen bei Sidus. The Alter Rebbe quetscht noch mehr. The Gemara says Meshayr Musen bei Sidus. The Alter Rebbe sucht, the famous, the Rebbe bringt eine Gruppe der Toisos, als wenn sie steht, elu, ist es, Even if it steht Elu, mit dit nicht Elu, is Kili Lakiva. So it's interesting, the Alter Rebbe switched the illusion, which in the Gemara says Meshayr and Moses Shaisidus. The Alter Rebbe writes, I'm Meshayr Elu Moses Shaisidus. Mera Kvetch. So therefore, Friday night, the Shabbos in the morning. Nicht Friday till Zman Achilas Chumas you could eat. From the Zman Achilas Chumas, then you Meshayr and Moses Shaisidus. So after Zman Achilas Chumas, azoi vi jedes Jahr, when it comes the time, the end of Shua Shishis, then you cannot eat Chumas anymore. It's the selbe Sache auch at Friday.
Was mit cookies?
What do you mean cookies?
Basically
Basically
cookies.
cookies, gehst erst nach ganzen Tag. Okay, so again, you finish B'dikas Chumas, you leave what you need to leave in a safe place, and that's for Shabbos. Shachris in the morning, Shachris Friday in the morning, you don't have to die early. Also ich steige Erev Pesach geworden, wie gesagt, Shkumas, but this year you don't have to die early, because usually you have to die early, because you have to finish till Zman Achilas Chumas. Now, since Bikaradin you could stay longer, you can eat longer, you don't daven early, and we do say Mizbel Soidu. Every Erev Pesach we don't say Mizbel Soidu, because Shnayum you can eat only for one day, and in the Pesach hat man nicht gemacht kann Erev Pesach gemacht kann Soidu. But over here it's not a problem. So therefore we do say Mizbel Soidu. It's a question which every year in the Besmigdash hat man wuss. Man gekannt a toy the Friday, as I saw with the Europe man kennen, but my lens zug mir auch mit Mizbel Soidu. Now, when it comes Friday, yeah. Is from when why from Thursday night?
Say 24 hours before.
24 hours before Zman Achilas Chumas. Doesn't have to be for Friday night now. Friday, Erev Shabbos, you have to burn the Chumas the same time as every year. At Sof Shua Shishis, which is an hour in Kingston, Pennsylvania. It's 11:58. Till then, you have to burn the Chumas. And Chazal must say it has to be Friday till that Zman, because Chazal did not warn. The Alter Rebbe brings it down in Sif Bais. Chazal did not warn. You should make 1 year. I remember last year I burned the Chumas 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So next year when it's not going to be Erev Pesach, Erev Shabbos, he's also going to burn the Chumas 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So therefore, the Chazal have gesucht, you have to, you shouldn't make any distinguish between 1 year and the other year. Therefore, you have to burn the Chumas till the Zman of Sreifes Chumas. But you don't need to be Mavat Chumas. Every year, when you make Sreifes Chumas, you make Kol Chamiru. After you finish, you make Kol Chamiru. Lift nice Sof Zman Isser Chumas. But over here, since there is not Sof Zman Isser Chilas Chumas B'Ikeradin, so therefore, you don't say Kol Chamiru. The Chamiru, which you didn't find, you made yesterday. As Sof B'Dikas Chumas, you say Kol Chamiru like every year. So that's the Chumas which you didn't find. The Chumas which you did find, you could still eat. So therefore, we don't say Kol Chamiru. Yeah. Zug der Rebbe, as the Yerutzen, nicht der Yerutzen, was man brennt the Chumas, the Yerutzen, B'shas Reifes Chumas, you do say although you don't say the Kol Chamiru, but the Yerutzen, but the Reifes Chumas, the Kol HaChatzoinim, Kol HaChumas, the Chumas Shebelev, all these things you do say, because that has to do with Reifes Chumas. This is what you say, yeah. We're going to see, but we have to remember, very important, that you have to make Kol Chamiru Shabbos in the morning, because that's mamish important. Friday, you don't need to do it, but Shabbos, we're going to see, is very wichtig to say Kol Chamiru. If a person, Lamaisa, did not burn the chumatz, he's on a flight or whatever, and he came after Shushishis, Afep he can, Zukt, Paskin Alter Rebbe, he could burn the chumatz all day. Chotchik, the Alter Rebbe Zukt, as Toiv Lizur, you should make sure it should be beforehand, but by the Eivet, if he didn't do it, Sof Kasov, Idich Snach, Kasov, Zman, Sraif, Chumatz, he says, Shloi, we shouldn't have a distinguishing the 2 years, but by the Eivet, he could burn the chumatz afterwards. I would say basically what he can't hear, I might say with Tzvura, maybe no. I don't want you to have a mistake next year, so maybe you shouldn't burn it. But the Alter Rebbe, after he can, by the Eivet, you could burn the chumatz.
On a regular year, if you find chumatz after this month, you have to burn anyway.
Emas. Ja, aber du gehst zu verbrennen, the chumatz. Ja, okay, ja, eine Frage. Der Alter Rebbe sagt, aber Teufel ist so eine Schunke mit den Kindern. But you're right. Selling the chumatz, the roof, which sells the chumatz, and all the people who sell the chumatz, we sell the chumatz for the goy the same time as every year. Also, kedai is on a chilik between every year and this year, and we sell it the same time. Now, not the chalois is not then. Let me make it clear. The chalois is not then. Chalois of mechiras chumatz is not then. When is the chalois? So over here we have a machlokas achroinim. Some achroinim want to say you sell it for the goy whenever the time is 11 o'clock in the morning Friday, but you tell for the goy that the chalois mechira should be only in Shabbos. When it comes before the zman of Sov Zman achilas chumatz, then it should be the chalois from mechiras chumatz. Lamasa, we do not do that. We sell the chumatz and we say for the goy it should be chal an hour, 3/4 of an hour, half an hour before the Shabbos comes in. Why? Because we want the store should be able to sell chumatz. You have stores which are still open and sell chumatz for Shabbos. So therefore, if you sell the chumatz, you sell the chumatz right away, you have a problem. You cannot sell the chumatz. You sell the chumatz, you sell it for the goy, and you sell it. So the chachichet lila.
Why can you sell it Friday right before Shabbos?
Oh, so this is what we do. We write in the shtar mechira that the chalois mechil. We do it 11 o'clock in the morning. With the goy, we do everything, but we write in the shtar. We do it 11 o'clock in the morning, like every year. But we write in the shtar the chalois. You know what the chalois means? Chabrisker. The chalois, when it happens, it's an hour or half an hour before the sadna. Now, why can't we do it? It should be the chalois on Yom Tov, on the Shabbos, the easiest thing. Now, Rabbi Kiva Eiger has a tshuva on this nekida. When you sell the chumatz, when is the chalois of the chumatz? The Rabbi Kiva Eiger wants to be medayik from Trimas Adeshen. If the shal hype azoi, a person has a bachor, and the 31st day you have to be paid a bachor by the 31st day. You have to go over. Has to be over 30 days. The 31st day you make paid a ban. Happens to be the 31st day is the child was born on Thursday. 4 weeks and 2 days is Shabbos. So what do? You have to make a paid a ban. So mitzvah says that I say. So Zug the Trimas Adeshen, Be'etzem, you could have give the money for the Kohen and tell for the Kohen the Chalois Pidyon, because you cannot be paid before, when it's before the Zman. So you say, here's the money, and the Chalois of the Pidyon is going to be in Yert Hashem tomorrow. Zug the Trimas Adeshen, it's a problem because you lose the bracha. When are you going to make the bracha? B'shas giving him the money for the Kohen, you don't make a mitzvah. B'shas Chalois, it's lifting. You don't do anything then. Zug the Trimas Adeshen that you lose the bracha, so therefore you shouldn't make a pidyon ban erev Shabbos to be chal on Shabbos. Zug the Rabbi Kiva Eiger, what do we see from this?
What should you do?
What is Shechanurich steht? Poidem yom alef, or Motzei Shabbos or Bikir or Sunday. Also passen die Alter Rebbe auch the Shechanurich and Shabbos.
You feel it's a bracha because the kid is also not from Shabbat Neifel.
Because of what?
He still could be a Neifel.
So, but for tomorrow.
Because
B'shas maase can ich nicht machen. Why not? But I'm giving it Friday. I said Shabbos when he's already after a no knifel, then it's chal the chalois. So what's the problem? I'm giving it Friday, day 30. It should be chal day 31, and then it's nicht knifel. Zukt der Deshe, you lose the bruche. Zukt der Kiva Eiger von woher we see am heute gesagt. Be'etzem kann man machen. Me megem Shabbos. When the chalois is later. although Yom Tov Shabbos to Mishpach Kamachira, but such a case, when Sinor Achalois, you could do, as well as Rabbi Kiva Eiger hype Tundas Shiva. Then he goes a whole Arichas, no, it's not only the problem of the Bracha, and he helped me kenish machen Kachalois Kinyan in Shabbos. In Asmach Zeh, haben die Achroinim ungenehmen, die heute sind Rabbi Kiva Eiger and his halt with Rabbi Eiger, we don't sell the Chumatz by Chumatz, the same thing. You cannot sell it in Shabbos, it should be Chal in Shabbos, therefore we have to Chal for Shabbos. But for Shabbos, you don't want it to be Chal when I sell it to the Goy right away, because I still want people should be able to buy Chumatz. So therefore, we write in the Shtar B'chirat Chumatz a little bit before Shabbos, Gait around, you know. What? Als lebt man lifnei Zman, aber achar Zman kann man gut nicht stehen. Bitte Rabben is we want it to be tomorrow. Du will man, yeah, exactly. We'll get to it in a minute. We'll get to Mamash Dei Zachem Nit. We'll get to a minute. Okay, so B'mayla, we sell it again Friday, and therefore all the people who want to sell Chumash, nobody should come and have it every year. After the Zman, we sold it for the Goy, and after the Zman of Mechiras Chumash, is like, do Eibik Einer, which tells, oh, I forgot to sell the Chumash, what should I do? I have liquor, and I have all these things. And I say, take it and throw it in the garbage. Burn it to the fire. Osir. Mach dich kein Cheshbon, you know. Sell, the time you can sell it tomorrow, and finish. Put it in nice. What is the last minute? Friday, after the Erev Pesach, Baka Matzah, kommt es mir in Mann, ich habe Likke mit Sachen vergessen, verkaufe Chumash. What should I do? So ich habe wusste ich nicht der Mann jetzt. Ich habe gesagt, ich komme Chalamoid. Why did you come Chalamoid? It says, take all the Chumash, throw it in the garbage. Osir. Finished. Na, wenn es jetzt kommen auf Freiheit, ist du gewisse Sachen, was wir kennen, ob verkauft jede Sur bei der Ruf. Aber jener ist kommen, jener kann nicht kommen zu mir bis jetzt. Es du gewisse Teile, wenn wir kennen. Aber not always you can. Not always you can. So by Maila, you have to throw away all the Chumash are finished. The what? No, a regular Erev Pesach. This year, if you, but different is also a problem. What is if he comes to Friday night? What do you do then? What do you do in Shabbos?
You have to drink the whole thing on Shabbos.
You have to make a verbrengen and drink everything on Shabbos, exactly. A große verbrengen. What? Was heißt so klar? Oh, er geht es am Matuna von jenem. Du mir nicht geben kann Matuna in Shabbos. Also Shechnurig. Du nicht geben Matuna in Shabbos. A viele Freie du nicht geben kann Matuna. Ich tu nicht geben Matuna von der zweiten. Oh, wie viel kann erst? Er will doch nicht gehen, er will doch anspannen in Klasse. Again, es ist auch nicht kommen. Mit kommen dort mit dann auf der Obst geschehen. Es ist auch nicht geschehen. I'm just, you know, hoch um eine Beräuschen. Al Caponam. So that's the Nikida. Now, every Erev Pesach, after Chatzois, you cannot make a malacha. So therefore you have to make a haircut. You have to make a haircut before Chatzois. By the way, this is a mitzvah achiyev, nicht a mitzvah achiyev, to take a haircut before Pesach. Before all the Shurish Gulam. Also if that is achiyev, that Chazal made you a punishment if you don't take a haircut before Pesach, you cannot take a haircut in Chalamoid. The whole reason why we cannot take a haircut in Chalamoid is because Chazal wanted you should take a haircut before Pesach, before Yom Sikas, before Shavuos, while Shelo Yagil Yom Tov Kishim Nuvu. So again, you have to take a haircut. Yet now every Erev Pesach you cannot take a haircut after Chatzois, only through a goy. What? As is al unki, as kim Yom Tov when you have to take a haircut. You know when the stuff's on.
Is that 30 days or?
Well, no. In the Chronim do Shmiz wegen der Nikida. It's 30 days. Es gibt aus nein as Yom Tov zaman sehen noch am Bistadus. You can take it tomorrow if that's the issue. But the only problem is till Shavuos is going to be an extra 2 weeks. You know, you're going to have a lot of hair. So you take it right before Pesach is also Geschmack. Al Caponam. So therefore, every Erev Pesach you cannot take a haircut after Chatzois. And even the nails, you should make it before Chatzois. This year, you can do it even by Yid. Every year, after Chatzois, if you realize, oops, it's after Chatzois, I didn't make a haircut, you can take it only through a goy. But this year, since it's not Erev Pesach, you're not making the korban. Why is after Erev Pesach, after Chatzois, is also to make a malacha because it's yontav didai. Since you are makev a korban, the halacha is whenever a yid was makev a korban, chatas, a korban, moile, whatever, that day was a yontav. He was dressed on Shabbos. He didn't say tachna, it's a yontav. So since over here now every yid's yontav because he's makev korban paisach, so therefore it's yontav to make a malacha. Now this year you don't make korban paisach, you make korban paisach only Shabbos. So therefore you can take here the erev paisach ochet. What? The same will also be, the halacha is that after Erev Pesach, after Zman Achilas Chumas, you cannot kash kailam anymore. Because I'm afraid the blia comes out, Mamaila, Chumas Geblia, this year it's not a problem to kash kailam after Chatzois if you didn't do it beforehand. And again, in this thing it's much easier.
No table glass on Friday.
Good.
This is not a goal, right?
What?
It's only a goal, not limb.
It's only a hagol, not limb. Yeah. Now he asked before what's doing with the two sudas. What's doing with the two sudas? Yeah. The two sudas is do two shtar mechiras chumatz. A lot of rabbonim today's day write in the shtar mechiras chumatz that we sell for the goy all the chumatz, even the chumatz which we are going to eat. Therefore, how could we eat it? We'll make it now with the goy. I sell you the whole chumatz. Whatever chumatz I will need, I will use before Pesach. Comes after Pesach, it's your chumatz. It comes about after Pesach, we have to make a cheshbon of the deal. It's a deal. It's a real serious deal. It's not a haroma. It's a real deal. The guy have to pay, and I have to pay him what I took from him. So after Pesach, we have to sit down with an appraiser and have to make, how many bottles of liquor he has and which one he wants. Whatever he wants, he has to pay. And which one he doesn't want, he wants to sell it back. I will buy it back. So therefore, machtat naim with the guy that I will after Yom Tov pay you for whatever I used. Whatever I used. So what happens? All the chumatz which I eat is the goy's chumatz. Once I finish eating the chumatz, and I took, let's say, 5 bilkelach, and then we thought all 5 were gone, and then we finish the seder, 4 bilkelach, we have still a bilkelach. So what do? You take this chumatz, you put it back in the goy's closet. It's his. It was his to begin with. I only wanted to take it to buy it off, but I don't need it anymore. I put it back in his closet and water. But Lamas the Alter Rebbe does not write this patent. And a lot of other achroim do not like this patent because it sounds a little bit chichet lila. You're selling it and you're buying it back. So therefore, by us, the Alter Rebbe writes the muzish taisidas is not b'chal mechira. It's not b'chal mechira. It's not sold for the goy. It's your goy. We write for the goy that we sell everything except for the muzish taisidas. That's mine. What happens when he finishes? You have an extra bilkala. What do you need to do? Then you have to take the chumatz in what? You have to throw it in the toilet. That will be the chilik of how. And the Alter Rebbe does not give the other solution. Now there are some Lubavitcher Rabbanim which want to say you can still do the other way. The Alter Rebbe doesn't bring it, but that doesn't mean it's aser. There are some Rabbanim which says that you cannot do it. The Alter Rebbe doesn't bring it. You cannot do it. My hergesh is probably you could do it, but metitis nicht bepoil. All the shturas which I have from Lubavitcher Rabbanim. And my shtar churim itself is also that to the shtar muzish taisidas belongs to you, and therefore after you make sure the people should eat all the chumatz. If not, you'll have to put it into the toilet.
Someone knows that it's very likely he's not going to be able to.
He shouldn't buy that much. He shouldn't buy that much.
You're saying if he knows he might not end up.
Better have less.
Better not.
You don't need to eat only a kabaitza. That's about it. And the rest of the city. Okay, yeah, we'll get to that also. What we could do. And now in Monsi there's a bakery. In Monsi there's a bakery. He started, but now everybody does it. They make special bilkas, not too big, and it's a little bit. We have to say it for the people who bake here. You have to make it a little bit less baked, so it doesn't how do you say? Doesn't crumble. Yeah,
They make it a little raw.
it's not raw. It's not raw because if you eat raw dough, it's not raw. It's a little bit less baked.
Not well done.
So therefore, it doesn't. It's gewaldig. It's fully baked. But
Costs more money, right?
what? I don't know if it's cost money. I don't think so. Not necessarily. No. Al Caponam. So that's it's like a bagel. A bagel doesn't crumb usually. Most of the time, it's like a bagel. Okay. Now, anyone who has, I don't know if it's not. I say the locha because people here listen to the shiur online, but it's not relevant in this community because none of you are over 75 or 80. But anyone who has fake teeth, I'm not talking about fillings. I'm talking fake teeth. Yeah, and you have to kasher it on Pesach. You have to kasher it before Pesach because chometz you eat all year round hot chometz.
Kind of a Pesach beer? A Pesach beer? A Pesach
Oh, is the art? Sie do take for Chassidische Yidden which have a Pesach beer. Well, that costs a lot of money. Not everybody is ready to invest in such a thing, especially people who are, they have to make sure to they have money. Mein Farmatzas haben extra beer. Akaponam, you have to kasher it. So therefore, in such a case, you should kasher it Friday. That means you should 24 hours before Friday. You should stop before Shabbos. You should do Erev Shabbos.
How do you eat the challah?
The what?
How do
The hot is not hot. Challah is not hot. We're talking hot food. Hot. Everything is only a problem of hot. So 24 hours before Shabbos comes in, you stop eating hot chometz. Then before Shabbos comes in, you kasher it with hot water, and you don't eat anymore with this piping hot Yatzolder's boy of Shraim Tachvir. This you can do. You have to do Erev Shabbos. You cannot do it on Shabbos. You can see when you come a minute later when it comes to your own tools which you kasher every Erev Pesach or then you can do it on Shabbos. But non teeth, only falsche teeth. How is it called? Dentures. You cannot do it because the halacha is you cannot kasher on Shabbos. That's the halacha. Now, how can we kasher our mouth? Steht in the poskim that it's nicht nereke, you drink a cup of tea or you drink hot water. You do it a regular Shabbos too. So it's nicht mechzik. So therefore, we can do it Shabbos in the morning, which we are going to do Shabbos in the morning after we finish the Seder. We drink hot tea or hot water. And that's how we kasher it. But when it comes to dentures, which is not a part of you, it's nicht mechzik mavashel. So therefore, in this darf man schon kashen in a way a bisschen besser auch. Maybe if the guy is shaykh, so therefore, if you don't kill it, so therefore you should do it Erev Shabbos.
What about braces?
Braces is the same as Shabbos in the morning. You do it Shabbos in the morning. You clean it with the tea, with hot water. You drink it. What? Oh, we're gonna get to it. We'll get to it in a minute. You have Erev Shabbos.
What about permanent implants?
We're gonna get permanent kestish again. Kestish Shabbos. So you can do it in Shabbos.
No, it's the same like your regular.
Same as regular fillings, yeah. I have noch vragen. I only wanted this day look as a guy because this you have to do Friday because this is echt dikke moenen for them.
So regular year, Thursday night, or Tuesday night and Wednesday is this month. You gotta have hot pizza the night before.
No.
We always okay.
So it could be hot, but it could be warm. But not can it be hot all this one? No, you can't.
No, he's saying you need not supposed to have hot.
No, 24 hours before Pesach you shouldn't have hot chumetz.
Even real teeth?
Even real teeth. If you have only if you have fillings, or only if you have fillings or braces. If you don't have fillings, I didn't have till I was 30 something. Not even one filling. I had no issue. But once you get people who don't, I don't know. Today's day everybody has fillings, but anybody doesn't have fillings, so he has no issue because the human teeth there's no problem.
So you don't need.
But-
That's what I'm asking. My teeth, I don't have any fillings. I can have hot pizza the night before.
Yeah, if you have no fillings, no nothing, that's no problem.
So you know what about your 24-hour thing that you said?
Oh, so not everything is only because I want to kasher. The fillings is metal. Fillings are or
I don't need a kasha.
if base them not. No, you have to clean it good, but you don't have to kasher it. No. After piquet. Why? You never ate hot pizza? You never ate hot pizza? No?
It doesn't have time.
You're okay, it's kafir.
Ceramic.
No problem. Same thing. Also, anything which is not your own is a subject to this problem. And this is even more problem because you can't cash it. So therefore, Pesach, anybody who has filling should not eat something which is Yatzal this boy do Pesach. Should leave more loop. Now after Pesach, after the Zman of Chachilas Chumetz, as I mentioned before, is Me'ikar Adin make men Esach Chumetz till Shabbos. Till Shabbos you can eat Chumetz. If you have cookies, still Me'ikar Adin, as I mentioned before. But as I mentioned before, the minig is you don't eat. As I mentioned, the Gemara says Meshayar and Muz Mashidas. The Alter Rebbe writes Elu. So therefore, after Sazman Achilas Chumetz, like Tchili, you shouldn't eat and Chumetz. The people who bake Erev Pesach Matzah every year, bake Erev Pesach Matzah also this year. When? Erev Shabbos. Same Zalbazach. Now when it comes to Suda Shabbos. When you make Suda Shabbos, you should not cook anything chomazik in a pot which sticks. That means cholon, chomazik cholon. Even if you're going to eat up the whole cholon, don't cook anything which is sticky, because the halacha is you cannot clean the pot after the Suda. You cannot wash it. It was initial tzorech Shabbos. So therefore, anything sticky you don't make chometz. Now the minig is the masa. That's the minig ha'olam, that you make, you wash, you eat a kazais, a kabaitzich challah, or as much as challah as you want. Once you finished eating, you clean yourself, you wash yourself, you take off the tablecloth, you make sure all the crumbs which are on the tablecloth you put together in a napkin, and you flush it in the toilet. You put it down in the toilet. Tablecloth. That's why if people have plastic paper because of other kid, even if they have other tablecloths, make sure it's a place that you can collect all the crumbs and flush it into the toilet, because you cannot burn it. You cannot throw it just on the street. Auch nicht, because therefore you should throw it in the garbage.
So
Now,
it doesn't help by eating outside.
The what?
It doesn't help by eating outside.
It doesn't help you eating outside, because again, if you're not careful, then it will be crumbs all over.
It's crumbs,
Emmas, aber es ist schon geschmiest, als Thomas ist ein Stickel, wo sie wird nicht schmutzig, und es ist eine gute Sache, then haben wir ein Problem. Wir fragen Kinder, sie können auf einmal brechen, so therefore, like Trille, here on a plastic tablecloth, and throw it into the garbage, you clean it. Oh, the what? Yeah, noch a minute, yeah, now, what? Yeah, this you can do. Yeah. Jetzt also, the minig is again, what is the minig? You eat the kazais or the kavais, whatever. Then you clean yourself, you clean your clothing, you wash your hands, and you go into, you could even change, if you had kavana, even if you made kiddush in one room, or in the backyard, you want to come in and eat the Pesach Suda in Pesach Kailam, which that's the minig about Grus Chal, Fiklal Yisrael. Once you wash your hands, you finish the chometz, you wash your hands, you come in, and if you had kavanah to change, you have no problem to coming in the room, eat the fully Pesach Suda which you have, and then you bench. And that's the most practical thing to do. Most practical thing to do is go or outside, whatever, on a tablecloth, eat that challah, finish, clean yourself, clean your clothing, wash your hands, throw this in the garbage, and then you go in and you eat. You don't have to bench. You bench inside after you finish the whole Shabbos meal, which are Pesach Nigasidah. What?
Even if it's later.
Even if it's later. You can't see
You
it.
have to see where you're eating.
The what?
You have to see the lift where you're eating.
What do you mean you have to see the licht? You made kiddush and you ate the kazayis? You don't have to.
I ate kiddush inside.
Make kiddush inside, no.
Until they get table.
No.
Now I want to go outside and eat challah.
Yeah, but it's not problem for kiddush bukim siddur. This you cannot do. No, this is no good. You make kiddush where you eat the kazayis.
Kiddush outside.
Wherever you eat the kazayis chumetz over there, you make kiddush. Once you ate the kazayis chumetz, you come into the dining room. You eat the whole Pesach meal. Because eating in any end, eat Pesach meal in a Pesach kelim or disposable. Because you're eating in a chometz kelim, Pesach food, which ladle are you going to do? Iri, with the para from the chometz kelim, it's complicated. Therefore, if you
could see outside.
Yeah. Auch geht.
Why can you take inside? Eat the challah outside.
Es ist nicht bei uns, nein, das hat nicht gesagt mit sehender Licht. Kiddisch da Samba Mukim Sida. Kiddisch tun man nicht rausgehen von ein Chayder, es hat nicht viel, was man sieht. Man hat nicht nur Berg seine Hände. You can have in mind, once you ate... No. The Aluch in Hilchas Berg Samusen, that if I ate one place, and have kavana, I want to go to a Rebbe's Tish, or I want to go to a Fabrengen, and I want to eat, finish dort eating, in dort bench Kamenestin. Ob has got kabun, hast du kein Problem. What?
Even if you're not eating challah I can eat challah here.
Ja, beitsam ja. Steht aber, bemucken wir die Geist, das doch essen. Aber bei Iker Adin nicht. Ob ihr sagt kavuna, ob das kavuna ist auch viele, wenn das nicht gegessen dort gut ist. Das geht kavuna. Even if it's just kechallah, even if it's just kechallah. So even if it's yeah, because guy make a sida Purim and go to Menachem and to the Purim sida Friday night in the Mistish dort can't not mention. Also steht nicht genug, weil das hat kavuna. So therefore, in such a case by us, so the best thing is make kiddush, eat a kizais, and then come in and gang water. Even if you don't bench the same place, but you cannot make kiddush in one room and go eat the other room. That's dus kemen stehen. Dus a kiddush book besida. Dus nicht berg seine Hände die gebraten, so problem kiddush book besida. So extra kiddush. Nicht nur dus steht auf viele Mechaide, auf viele mit.
So why can't you make kiddush in the house?
No.
Drink a second reveal some water.
Yeah, this cast. Yeah, this you could do. This you could do. Yes. Yeah, this you can do. Grape juice. Yes. This you can do. You're right. This you can do. Yeah, it helps. If this is practical, then it's much easier to make.
Practical than making kiddush and having challah inside.
No, outside. Make kiddush outside.
You're outside.
On your deck.
In a different room, whatever.
Outside.
Send the Shabbos day.
Beautiful.
Why what? This is what he says. Take 2 cups of wine. Kish mukim sida. Now you can go out and make a mochi. What?
Not having a mixie outside.
Yeah, misches like a pass. Chametz says and pass. Can't play around. Somebody at this rule asked me to this week. Somebody, my ruin at this rule. Yeah, we spoke about this halakhas because I gave one shir on this and he heard it on Kalalushan. I didn't know it's on Kalalushan. So he had some questions on it. So he tells me, in the Mayunis rule, he asked me, so somebody gave a eitzah, maybe Shabbos in the morning before davening, I eat cake, I see them as the cake for daven. That's my suda. And therefore, then after I come home, I eat pesach. I don't have to wash again. And I'm asking to answer your question. See, mechanisch nicht erst see the Shabbos, lifnei Shabbos, lifnei fahren daven, whatever. Akaponem, again, if you want to do it this way, yeah, you can eat 2 cups. But if you don't want to do it, the most practical thing is, or in the deck, or in a room which you have no issue, and over there you make kiddush, eat. What? Kiddush mukim sida. He doesn't have to. The guy who makes kiddush drinks 2. The guy who does drinks only 1. That's the suda. Yeah.
What's up? If you make kiddush outside, you have to have the lid if you can see them in the other room.
Yeah, I see them. Look into the window.
You can't see. You have to have.
Senish ma'akaf, because you see that you're going to eat when it is kimstaran nuchdem. So senish ma'akaf this, if this is the case.
Some eat outside. Afterwards, of course, comes of comments. It's a place like the Enya de Magas or something.
Like in the boards.
Under the
Nachamon?
You sweep the crumbs.
You get on the porch.
Under the deck.
The deck.
The porch, it's a deck.
You sweep the crumbs.
Yeah, but it falls on,
underneath. So
and there's nothing underneath.
It's like low.
Mechanisch, if it's close in the bottom, noch heute, what must you can't eat?
If you put it on the grass, you
Can't
don't
get it anymore.
No, the grass too many. The grass is down, she's kemenish. The what?
Ground balls more than birds.
Okay, so maybe it's not a problem.
One thing, the tablecloth, the plastic tablecloth. Let's say I ate challah and the crumbs are put in a tissue throughout, but there's still crumbs on the plastic.
Okay, so the same thing will go on the ptela. Exactly. I want to get to it next. Now, after you ate the suda and you have crumbs on the table, whatever you cannot flush, the thing is like that. You should take I assume it's disposable, again, as I mentioned before, disposable kailam, you throw it into the garbage. When it comes to such a case, now you have a garbage, and you have over there chametz. you don't want chumash to be in your shis. So if you have an erev and you carry with that erev, you just take it and take it out and throw it in a mukum which is public. That means you go on the street or a public garbage can. You cannot have it on your shis. This is very important to know. You cannot have chumash. Your garbages should be after the zman b'chiras chumash. I mentioned last week. I think last week was it in Monsi. Baruch Hashem, we have a upmach. We had upmach because I'm not Monsi anymore. But the Kapuna, we had upmach with the garbage trucks that they have to come erev Pesach, and they come erev Pesach to go through all Monsi erev Pesach. But sometimes, is what?
In Brooklyn, it's the same thing.
Brooklyn also. Yeah, Brooklyn is the government. By ins is all private. Gerade du man so geht machen, du so the government. This is the town. But all done is a private company, so you have to make a deal with them. So what happens? But it comes sometimes. Comes this man, and they didn't. The garbage didn't come. Usually it come early, but sometimes it doesn't happen. So I remember you're gonna start. It's coming this man, mamish before you can see start seeing garbage bags rolling out on the street, on the road. So therefore they come early because they don't want it to, they don't want the mess. As long as it's a v'dana, is a problem. Steigt in the postkam, in such a case, you have such a garbage can, you throw it on the goyish gas. If there's an erev, if there isn't an erev, you should ask a goy to take it out. You have to go. Some person want to say that you could also have a child to take it out because we are only for shitzaram. It's only a karmelas. In Mamayla is not a drabunan. And the Alter Rebbe writes in Shimem that in Shimem Dalet, Shimem Gimel, Shimem Dalet, one of the last Simon Red Ben Kuten, that a yid, makes zung for a go, you could say for a child to make a malach in the rabbonon ba'akro, so for the father even. It's a gross kill for the Alter Rebbe. Ba'akro, I said the rabbonon, a child could do for a father. Over here is even easier because also the child ate the chumetz, and his chumetz also is l'tzorich hakuten. So therefore, if it's a erev, you take it out, put it on the street, or the garbage can if there's on the street, or ask your neighbor to put it in his garbage can. Yeah, you're going to pay him the $250 for the sticker. But if you, the what? If you have, I'm talking about people. There are some people who wants to have a part of it, a paisach, a chumatzige cholan mit kishke, and so we have to take all the scenarios. But poyel, we don't have that big issue because poyel, in practical, you eat the whole bilke which you have, and all the breakfast, the crumbs, you throw it in the garbage. And I feel it's a blab dot a crumb or the bus, throw. But again, the scenario is if you have lamaisa chumatz and you could put it in the garbage, you have to put it on the street because it cannot be in your rishis.
What's with the crumb?
Also, das ist off in the garbage can, or even in such a case, when kannst du so viel Roswarf of people are walking.
The crumb basically is not good. It's just
Yeah.
If you have a septic tank, when you flush it, it's still in your shoes.
What? That's the shan smas. That's very good.
You're welcome.
Okay, again, Shabbos in the morning. That was Shabbos in the morning. That was Friday night. Noch the Seder Friday morning. Shabbos in the Shabbos in the morning. You have to daven early again because this year 10:51. So yeah. Throw it in the garbage and take it out.
No, you can't take it out. What do you mean take it out?
Take it out of the garbage. Take the garbage outside. Rosen.
How far is it? Put it in the street and how far is it?
How is it different than your sidewalk when anyone litters on your sidewalk?
What? Anyone what?
Anyone walking by and eating a cookie and it drops.
First of all, it's not your chumatz. That's first of all. Second of all, you know it's dirty. Du hast the chumatz, which is rein. So you just came out of the tablecloth.
I'm saying tiny bits.
Sie dürfen sie sagen, die Sache auch. Also man soll.
Didn't we say before the nights in the body?
What? No, we don't. By us, no. This is what I said. In our mechiras chumatz, we don't sell for the goy. In our mechiras chumatz, the Musik is ours. Whatever is left over is ours. And even when you say for the goy, we spoke that if you leave a piece of chumatz, you don't know what to do. You put it back. But the crumbs was there anlegen in his McKendestein, the mask is anlegen. He'll buy the garbage.
So you should maybe spray it with some chemical on Shabbos.
The what?
Spray with some chemical on Shabbos, and then
the best thing is sharas around in the toilet. I don't know what's a big deal. What is a big deal?
Everybody's worried about the tiny crumbs.
Sigunish, warfst dran, das ist nicht kein Problem. Kleine Gramm, Sigunish, is nothing. Ja, noch ein Ausschockeln, if sie geblieben dort, na, dus. Okay, Shabbos in the morning we daven early. I think over here is going to be about 7:15, something like that. Because you have to finish in time, you have to go home still, and 10:51, Shabbos Ma'achila. I think 7:15 is no, something like that. Once a year, medaftin. Weiter. We make essen for davenen. How could you eat before davening? So also tell for davenen. Oh, you did. We don't even know. Is that mission away? Is halt mission dort? Is weiß man afel schon tun erst for davenen. The what? Yeah. Kem shas cake for davenen. Oh, okay. Okay, so when it comes in the morning, a person has chaptzach. He does not have lechem mishnah. He ate all the challah. He left one challah, all bulka. He left for him, and he doesn't have lechem mishnah. What should he do? Oh, zung da achroinam. It depends which matzah. Oibs is a regular matzah you can take. You even don't, or have it in a bag, or make sure it shouldn't touch. But if it's Erev Pesach matzah, Zucker Prima Gul Erev Pesach matzah is mikzah. Because it's already given, what's dedicated for Pesach, you don't want to use it, is mikzah. Mamaila, such case, can't use it. But if you have regular matzah, again, it says, once upon a time, is given in Shvika matzah's kasach, so the shal is relevant. Today is not relevant, because again, you go to the box of matzah, and one matzah you take, and it's not Erev Pesach matzah. But Erev Pesach matzah, you shouldn't do. The what?
If you salted the goy, it's a bagel.
Yeah.
Salt glass it, you can take it out.
Yeah, das kann man auch tun. Yeah. If a person does not want to have, Shabbos in the morning.
Friday, you have to go through the matzah like Erev Pesach always.
Of course. For all not only this, Erev Shabbos you have to make all the achonas which you have for Motzei Shabbos. Then you have to prepare the whole table. You have to make the charoises. You have to make the muror. You have to make the salt water. All these things you have to do. Usually you do whatever you do Erev Pesach, you have to do Erev Shabbos this year. And if you go through all the matzahs, Shmulik, if you go through all the matzahs to check if there's no kfula or a neficha, you got to do it also Erev Pesach this year. No. Then you can't do it. Also the prima good. But that's mikzah, das kann man nicht usen. Regular matzahs you use the Pesach you could use, not that one. Yeah, that's the best thing. But Nachmal, Shloima, you'll be surprised how all the shalos is relevant. You'll be surprised, I'm telling you. All the shalos is relevant. The Rabbon Mam nicht gesucht, die Schale was nicht relevant.
If a person's worried
He's gonna.
person's worried
Could he be involved in the of not eating matzah before Pesach?
No, this you can't. So Erev Pesach is a Isser to eat. Isser. Oh, du hast aber gerade gewollt. Yeah, also Erev Pesach is also. Erev Pesach is also Medina. 30 days is the minig. Erev Pesach is Medina. La locha. Medina, you can't. But like Shmulik said, which I wanted to say, come to that. If a person wants to have matzah shira, that is not a problem. Till Sov Zman, achilas chumatz. Only till then. If somebody could buy egg matzahs, which is kosher Pesach, and has no so basically it's a matzah shira. This matzah shira you could eat Erev Pesach till Sov Zman achilas chumatz. Bikir what man have to make to später auch. The Alter Rebbe says the minig is that the minig is it's a minig. It's only a minig. The Alter Rebbe writes two places. Tuf Mem Dalet, and also in Tuf Samach Bais. Two places the Alter Rebbe writes, it's only a minig you shouldn't eat Erev Pesach matzah shira because chashash efshem betrang like a bisl vaser. So therefore, if a person and there are a lot of families which do this, they buy for the children they buy matzah shira and they give them. But the only problem is for an adult to do this, there's another problem. You have, in order to wash on it, it should be a moitzi, because you have to see this Shabbos, you have to be kvayis sida. In kvayis sida, you have to have dalat baitzim. That's almost 4 matzahs. So what?
I could put something in between, I can make a lift on and start.
The Altrebe nicht redt wegen der Schale, wegen der sich mit auf andere Sachen auch hat, nur le Gimra und nicht le Kille. Altrebe redt legab Tag wegen der Schale, sich mit auf andere Sachen, nur le Kille nicht le Gimra. So you could buy a box of matzah shira, which is costing a pesach mehida diga. Maybe you have to know it should be mehida diga, and this you give for the children. Yes. If you are, for you, as the mizn erst sach. Because a matzah, you know how big is, a kazayis, how big is a kazayis is, and it's almost on a square matzah. When you wash on a square matzah, you have to say for the women, lushim tzitkunis, which are mostly most people are on a diet, so they eat matzah except of challah. But the chappen sich nicht. As a challah, you eat very small. When it comes to matzah, a kabaita is a trick, a little bit more. It depends on the I think it's 10 or 12, 10 the lines. So it's a 3/4 of a matzah is a kabaita. So you have to have dalat baitzim. You know what it means? Kvisi is about 3 matzahs. So if you want to do that, that's fine. What? Weil Amazonas, sie können machen am Moitzi und waschen, you have to have dalat baitzim. Big eggs matzahs Amazonas. Eggs.
Whole wheat square matzahs Amazonas?
No, whole wheat with water.
Matzahs is
Eggs. My pirates. When it's my pirates Amazonas, if it's water, it's a moitzi. What? It's almost, it's more than 3.5 matzahs. If you want to do that, that's fine. Okay, so again, in the morning, after we mentioned in the morning, takivus, after you eat the gazayis, you go into your room, you wash yourself, you clean yourself, and you eat cholot. Everything should be a pesach diga meal, and you're good to go. After the seder, at least, in the middle of the seder, at least it has to be before, once you finished eating chumatz, and before you comes to sof zman achilas chumatz, you have to be mavatel, you have to Shabbos in the morning, take a siddur, and it has to be mavatel, all the chumatz, because this is the most important thing you should do before sof zman achilas chumatz. You should be mavatel. The what? Before sof zman bir chumatz. Sof zman bir nish achilas chumatz. Bir chumatz. 11:58. Yeah. Bir chumatz. Yeah. So you have to say again kol chamiru, and it's very important. Most of the people forget of the Zach because you're middle of a Shabbos Suda. Once, that's why the ait is, once you clean up the table from the chumatz, right away wash your hands, change your clothing, take out the agoda, and say kol chamiru, and then you're good to go. After the Suda, or after you finish the chumatz. No, you don't want to take a siddur or agoda. Ich suche the practice. Ich suche in English Rabbonim, then practically Eden. Ich suche es so because I want to give you clearly, practically wash off, because you're going to take a goda with the crumbing hand, then so Senora Matthias, you wash your hands and finish. Yeah.
If you take a nap, then you're making a chana for the seder.
You're going to kommen zu dem machen. Kommen zu jeder Prat. Ich habe ihn gesucht. Jeder Prat, was jetzt kannst du noch trachten, you're going to address. It's also kein Geduld. What should I say? Okay, let's see. It's getting late.
Don't prepare for the seder. That's the only thing you have to know. Don't do anything for the seder.
After you finished eating chumatz or the suda itself, then you make sure to clean your mouth. Cleaning your mouth. You cannot use you cannot use regular toothpaste and a brush. You could use only a special Shabbos brush if you have. I don't know if you have it. And without toothpaste. And you wash your mouth with hot water. As I mentioned before, hot water, as much as you could intake. Don't burn yourself. As much as you could take, you clean your mouth. Kedai to drink it, to swallow it. Kedai, because then is the problem as kiktos vi mikasher. And other achronim say, drink a hot tea. Leave it should stay hot. No, don't leave it hot tea. Do what? Do what? Mouthwash is also heilig which you could do if it's yeah. No, but I want it should be agula. That's good to cleaning, but I want agula. Mouthwash itself make me use the Shabbos. But
Putting hot water in his mouth, putting all the crumbs in his mouth, putting hot water.
you rinse your water first with cold water, whatever. You clean it. Nimmst a toothpick. Oh God, come even. Du darfst auch wissen. If you have a toothpick, if you have a teeth which is going to blood, then don't use the toothpick. Again, also wie mit teeth wenn man darf. What? If you know it's going to bleed, then take a toothpick and clean yourself first. And everything before you cash your mouth. Flossing auch. Du hast floss. If it's not going to bleed, yeah. And then you drink hot water, hot tea, whatever. And this is hagula.
That's what's called brushing.
What?
That's what's called brushing.
Brushing the time without those guys around Shalaf Schita, Mamarach, a lot of things. That's why the Shabbos brush, which has bigger, there's such thing as Shabbos brush, if you know. Shabbos brush is it's two things. First, it's wider the bristles, and also it's a different material. Yeah, so but again, that's only the brush without the toothpaste. Toothpaste is going to run a shalaf in Machik. What? So do Shabbos toothpaste toch it?
It's a liquid.
Okay, fine, okay.
Shabbos toothbrush is not brushed anyway.
Yeah. Okay. What?
Why isn't it considered a sacrifice?
Why do you masaken? I'm achmenish clean in my mouth?
No, you're doing it because you should be.
What, you mean hot water?
You're masaking because now you can eat.
So what is masaken?
Hot.
Ja, aber aus dem suche ich das. Sie do a Problem für Nere. Nere kann man sagen. Sie nicht kein Problem für Masaken allein, weil sie nicht kann ich Masaken wenn gut nicht. Ich kann essen Vater, ich kann essen. Ich kann essen heißer, meint nicht dass sie Masaken. Sie nur Nere kann man sagen. Sie Nere mit Kasher. Also wie der Luch ist nur gerade Kasher. Das kickt aus wie Kasher.
Like toiling a cup on Shabbos. If you're masaking, it's not you use it.
Yeah, but steht in der Luch. Tomer ich teufeles und ich trinke das Wasser, mag ich. Also steht. In such a case you do. If you want to drink the mikveh water, then you can do it. Because that's not selbst Nerke Masaken. Sie echt nicht kann Masaken. Sie nur Nerke Masaken. Also ich steht in der Lucha. If you have a keli and you dip it and you drink the water, is it keli? Also steht ja. After Zman Achilles Chumas, we don't eat kidneys either. Let me just make it clear. We don't eat kidneys Erev Pesach Lach Zman Achilles Sikila, also we Chumas, and we don't eat kidneys.
Shabbos on Friday.
Shabbos. We're talking about Shabbos. Yeah. Friday you can eat. Yeah. So now, what do you do for Seder Shlishis? You have to eat Shalashidas. Even by Yosef Chabad, we have to eat Shalashidas. Yeah, you don't have to wash, but we have to eat. So therefore, you eat fruits. You eat fruits, you eat a banana. Eat what? Nicht all the fruits with charoises you don't eat, but you eat a banana which you don't eat for charoises, like Shmulik said. You eat charoises. Or there's another thing what you could do. There's another but David. What? Yeah, a banana. We know. Yeah. Akaponam. Let me just finish the nikida. That there's another way how to do shalashidas, and this is all year round. You learn Torah. So after you have a good nap, setzt dich herup lehnen, Lashem see the Shlishis, and then also man kann, also der Mungavrum allein bringt es herup. Und er sah mir Fall, what? Also ich stehe in Mungavrum. Aber bei von ihm hat ich kein Breire, ist lehnen. It's not like Tchila, no. We cannot do it like Tchila, because the Rebbe Rashab writes in the Yom Yom, you have to eat something. Kemivin, you shouldn't eat too much by Siddur Shlishis, too much bananas, because you have to eat matzah letayuvin. Like every Erev Pesach, you have to make sure not to eat too much. As I mentioned before, let me just make it clear, you cannot prepare anything for the Seder Friday afternoon. Even Shlomi or a Shliach, you cannot prepare everything you have to do before Friday. Everything you do Friday. For the Seder, you cannot do anything for the Friday. Even taking out from freezer stuff. Even all these things, you cannot. Shabbos, you cannot do anything for the Seder, for the Seder. And I'm going to tell you another thing. It's not only Shabbos for Yom Tov. It's first days for second days. This is a shala which people forget. people are going, in front young couples which go to the shver for one seder and the father the other seder. Now they live two other sides of the town. So they were going afternoon, Shabbos afternoon, they're going already with all the children. So they want to take along the becher, want to take along the kara, they want to take along the matzah, their holy matzah. So they bring the Shabbos doch mittag for the second days. So also, so also to bring it. To what? If you use it on the day, but you don't use all these things after that. If you use it, kannst du es trocken machen. Noch einmal. But if you don't use it, matzah which from the first day Sunday for the second day.
Sunday for Sunday night, now prepare.
Sunday for Sunday night? No, warte nicht. Chaz v'shulam. Me yontav rishon, yontav shayni tun wir nicht. Achuna.
For Shalshadis, can you eat a lot during the Suda? And it says if you're Bitzar, you eat too much. You don't eat Shalshadis. Can you do that?
Yeah, okay. If you're Bitzar, you don't need. Shtayt Rasha, Rabbi Nishloim Yitzchuki Rasha, our Rebbe Rasha, writes, Shtayt of him, and he didn't eat Shabbos afternoon, winter, he didn't eat Shalashidas because he was Bitzar. But you, aber steht nicht genug, als Chucham einen Bräuche shouldn't eat that much in order to be able to eat. Okay, so now you take a nap Shabbos afternoon. I feel like see them. You should take a nap afternoon, but you cannot say for your children you have to go to sleep in order you be rested out for the Seder. Because that's achona. That's why it's achona.
If you don't say it, you could.
If you don't, you could do it, but you cannot say rest because you should be able to be rested for that night. But you should make sure they go to sleep because you have to. This is eine von der Sachen, that the Boshman gave us a gewaltige Matone when it's Shabbos Erev Pesach. We can come to the Seder ausgeriet mit a ruhige Kopf. The Rushim Sitkunias kommen ausgeriet mit Adus. It's a geschmacke Sach. It comes with a little bit headaches because the two Seders for the children and the chametz. But for andere Saat is du matn schure betzide. You come Friday. Motzei Shabbos to a gewaldige ruhigkeit. After Mincha, we have to say this year Seder Korban Pesach, and also the Haggadah. First you say Seder Korban Pesach because that's totally in the Zman. The Alter Rebbe said it has to be Banish Mushas, and then you say Haggadah like the minhag is every Shabbos Haggadah. You say the Haggadah. Final locha when it comes Motzei Shabbos, then you can start preparing for the Seder, but you have to make Havdalah. So we have Ma'ariv, that's fine. We say it to the Aini. Women, if their women are not davening, then you make sure that they should say Motzei Shabbos before they do anything for the Seder. Burich HaMavd L'Makodesh L'Kodesh, and then they can start preparing for the Seder. V'yirutzen is a mazoich zan lechle min azvuchem min apsuchem asher yegiyam is dume am kir mizbachich u'leshulam this year b'mayne mamish.